Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we're going to take a look at Robin the Boy Wonder. Basically, it's a request that has been made by Corban Solomon on YouTube. So let's get to it. Obviously, we're going to start with the original Robin. Ironically enough, there's not that much Robin gear in this universe online. I think what I'm wearing right now is the Robin belt. Is that it? The sad thing is that the Robin belt is pretty much not unlike the simple utility belt, and there's a few other belt with pouches that kind of looks like that. So the Robin belt is not that special, sadly. So the thing though, you can recreate Robin at character creation more or less the way you're seeing it. If you put in a red T-shirt, a yellow R with either some green and black around the R, a short yellow cape, the thin slimline gloves, the the briefs for the pants, and for the boots, there's not that many options. I usually go for the tall classic boots or something like that. So if you use all, and of course the domino mask, all that you can have at character creation, and you can come up with something that's fairly close to what Robin actually looks like. Actually, this is the Robin belt. But so after a while, you could get the Robin belt, the official Robin belt, which looks like what you're seeing right now. And also, normally the T-shirt that Robin is wearing has like the chest is red, but the sleeves, the short sleeves, are green. Here, I was kind of able to mimic that using the arrow shoulders. These are basically the arrow shoulders we got from the team up time capsules, if I'm not mistaken. So if you use those, you can sort of mimic the look of Robin, and from afar you can almost it kind of fools it can kind of fool you into thinking that this is Robin. A lot of people don't like Robin, and that's not something new. It's something that's been going on for at the very least 40 years. Even when I was a kid, Um, there was a lot of people who didn't like Robin, thought the costume looked stupid, and were trying to change it at every turn. This is a variation that they tried to come up with in the late 60s, early 70s, and sadly enough, no one really liked it. So it ended up being the costume of Robin from Earth 2, and Robin pretty much went back to his classic costume. Ironically, at the time, Robin used that costume because there was a team up between the Justice League of America and the Justice Society of America, and Robin ended up with the needed a spare costume and ended up with the spare costume of Robin from Earth 2. But and here, ironically enough, that's more or less what Robin of Earth 2 ended up looking like at some point. It became the once Robin took over the mantle of Batman on Earth 2, somehow he didn't become Batman. He became some sort of amalgam between Batman and Robin. Like basically to be able to get the symbol that he was using at the time, we would need to put the Robin symbol smack in the middle of the Bat symbol, like a combination of the Batman symbol and the Robin symbol, and this would pretty much be Robin from Earth 2 at a certain point in time. Once he started replacing the Batman in the Earth 2 universe. So it's basically a Batman with a different cape and the Robin mask. It's pretty much that simple. And of course the Robin belt. And at some point they tried to tweak the costume a bit. One of the thing that people didn't like about the costumes were the short shorts. So they tried to give him some sort of pants at some point. So at some point, instead of having the 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 green briefs, they gave him like the red underwear with some long green sleeves instead. So I guess this was seen as an improvement by many, and this is more or less the look that the character had pretty much all throughout the 90s, and this was during the Tim Drake era of the character. Sadly, for the R, there's no miracle. There isn't any style that would put the R at the proper place, and those are all too bulky, or they're like this one that has like a million different straps. At some point, they pretty much got rid of the green from the costume, and so everything that used to be green in the costume pretty much became black. So they simplified the color scheme to black, red, and yellow, as opposed to having the green in addition to those colors. This was pretty much during the 2000 years, like the from 2000 to 2000, I would say 10, but probably a bit before 10 to 2010. And of course, it didn't have the billion straps that the suit has, but what can you do? This is more or less the Damian Wayne version of the costume. Again, the chest isn't quite right, but that with the styles we have in DC Universe Online, this is pretty much as close as I was able to get with the styles that I have. It's a fairly easy style to reproduce. The hood that you get at character creation, the classic cape, various slim lines, and I think only the gloves and the belt. The belt is the Robin belt, and the gloves. Well, actually, I don't recall which gloves those are. And of course, we're going to go to some infamous Robin look. This is somewhat inspired by Robin from the Batman Forever movie. He had some sort of bulky mask as opposed to a nice, sleek domino mask in that film. And the suit was kind of, sort of like Robin with the red chest piece. Although it was at a time when they were trying to give him long sleeves for the pants. Like no one wanted to have the character in short pants. So that's one of the times when they tried to. You had more or less the cod piece that was red, and the rest of the pants were green, and the gloves and the boots were either very dark green or black. It's kind of hard to tell in some photos. And the cape was kind of yellow, but it was a very dark yellow. So more or less, it had the color scheme of Robin, but with in a much darker palette. Of course, if you don't want to use some PvP gear, if you don't want to play PvP, you could probably use the slimline chest piece instead of what I showed. And of course, the new Genesis pants also kind of work to be able to get some red shorts on the character. I, I I think at some point I seem to recall some photos where the cape was reddish. So I'm not sure if it's because if maybe you had two different capes in the film that I don't recall, or maybe it had some capes. Sometimes the inside is yellow and the outside is red. So that might be why sometimes it does seems to have multiple different colors for the cape. But that was pretty much the beginning of the end for the movies. And here, this is pretty much the Batman and Robin costume. Although the red bit is not should be creating more of a bird. I'm going to show another look in a bit that is closer to the actual emblem that the Robin costume had in Batman and Robin. But again, Batman and Robin, a lot of people have, well, let's say, strong feelings about that film because it wasn't too well received by the fans, and it pretty much was a disaster at the box office as well. And sadly, the costume lacks a bit of contrast. Like there's a bit of red, and pretty much everything else is black, and that's it. So it kind of lacks contrast in my book, but I'm sure some people prefer that. And here you can see the silver and black version. At some point in the film, the character ends up with a silver and black version of his costume. Uh, we can assume that it's supposed to be a costume that protects him from cold, seeing how they're fighting Mr. Freeze at the time. And even Batman and Batgirl got similar silver and black costumes. So odds are the practical aspect of that was that there was probably some sort of cold protection in those suits, hence the silver part. Although the emblem isn't quite right, like in order to properly get the emblem that the character had in Batman and Robin, this is much closer to what the character had. Although if you want to recreate that look, you're going to have to play quite a bit of PvP, so I don't think you're going to want to to play to do that too much. So basically, there's not that much Robin gear in the game, unless you count Robin and Nightwing as one character. Seeing how Dick Grayson was both the original Robin and the, I suppose, original Nightwing. So sadly for the Robin, the closest thing we have to a Robin set of gear in this universe online is the Raptor Infiltrator. I already showed a video with that look. If you wanna see it, it's still available on YouTube. And the other suit would be the Nightwing suit, which is the Gotham Knight, if I'm not mistaken. But it's like the 100 CR PvP set of PvP gear. So you're gonna have to play a lot of PvP, or is it 99 CR? Yeah, I think it's 99 CR. Anyway, 99 or 100. You will need to play a lot of PvP to be able to get that chess piece and basically the whole style. And here, let's finish with something not too depressing. This is about as close as I was able to get to the Red Robin that we saw in Kingdom Come. It's basically a Robin version that was designed by Alex Ross, and he sort of did a cross between Robin and Batman, giving him the Batman call, but without the actual Batman ears, seeing how this is not Batman, it's supposed to be an older Robin, who somehow decided to go back to being Robin as opposed to being Nightwing. And at the time, he was called Red Robin. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So this pretty much covers Robin and DC Universe Online. There's probably a few things I could have mentioned. There's the legend Robin character that you can use to play PvP, and you do meet Robin in a handful of missions in DC Universe Online. But again, in terms of gear, there isn't that much Robin-specific gear that you can have. Although recreating the Robin look is not that difficult, although you cannot really recreate it, you can just recreate something that kind of looks like it. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.